Development happened today for the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi that might change their mission 2024. We're going to get you the details. Let me first take you through the headlines. Big win for Rahul Gandhi. Supreme Court puts Rahul's conviction in 2019 defamation case on hold. Rahul hails order, says truth always triumphs.
आज नहीं तो कल, कल नहीं तो परसों सच्चाई की जीत होती है। मेरा रास्ता तो क्लियर है। मुझे क्या करना है, मेरा क्या काम है, उसके बारे में मेरे दिमाग में बिल्कुल क्लैरिटी है।
All eyes now on Lok Sabha Speaker. Congress asks Om Birla to restore Rahul as MP immediately. Birla awaits Supreme Court order copy. Big win for Hindu side in the Gyanwapi fight. Supreme Court allows ASI survey to go ahead, orders no excavation at mosque complex. Bulldozers action begins in Haryana's new district. Writers' homes razed down. 3 social media accounts under scanner over posts that fanned riots. India Today grills hate monger Bittu. Exposed by India Today, Bajrangi is defiant, defends his videos that triggered the riot. After India Today tracks down writer's den in Aravalli Mountains, cops probe Aravalli Hills after India Today expose. All right, the big story that we are tracking today, decks have been cleared for the return of Rahul Gandhi to contest the 2024 Lok Sabha polls. Not just that, make his entry back into the parliament as well. All of this after the Supreme Court today stayed his conviction in the 2019 defamation case. Supreme Court verdict will allow offset Rahul Gandhi's disqualification as the Wayanad MP in a big boost for the opposition's alliance. Here's the full report.
Massive relief for Congress leader Rahul Gandhi. The Supreme Court on Friday stayed his conviction in the 2019 defamation case over his Modi surname remarks. A 3-member bench of Justice B.R. Gavai, Justice Sanjay Kumar and Justice P.S. Narasimha noted that the Surat Court did not specify the reason for awarding Rahul the maximum punishment in the defamation case. The top court observed that the ramifications of the lower court's verdict were great as it led to his disqualification, affecting not just his rights but rights of his electorate too. The court, however, added that Rahul's comments were not in good taste and he should use caution while making public speeches.
इसमें एक बड़ा रोचक वाक्य है एविडेंस वाले का कि मुझे राहुल गांधी के बद इरादे के बारे में कोई ज्ञान नहीं है, कोई संज्ञान नहीं है। ये लिखा है उन्होंने कंप्लेनेंट ने। तो हमने ये कहा कि जब ये है सिचुएशन तो आपको किसी रूप से ये कन्विक्शन स्टैंड नहीं होना चाहिए। हमारी दलील मानी गई, पूरी तरह से बहस दूसरी तरफ से भी हुई थी, इसलिए ये बहुत ही संतुलित ऑर्डर है। जैसा मैंने कहा, ये विजय है लोकतंत्र गणतंत्र की।
Celebrations erupted at Congress party offices across India soon after Rahul's conviction was stayed. The Supreme Court's decision now enables Rahul Gandhi to return as an MP. The Congress will petition the Speaker to reverse his disqualification. Rahul is now free to contest the 2024 Lok Sabha elections.
आज बड़ा खुशी का दिन हमको लगा कि डेमोक्रेसी की जीत हो गई, संविधान की जीत हो गई, सत्यमेव जयते जो हमारा नेशनल सिंबल के नीचे लिखा हुआ रहता है वो उसका जीत आज हुआ है।
The Congress leader hailed the verdict as the victory of truth.
आज नहीं तो कल, कल नहीं तो परसों सच्चाई की जीत होती है। मगर जो भी हो, मेरा रास्ता तो क्लियर है। मुझे क्या करना है, मेरा क्या काम है, उसके बारे में मेरे दिमाग में बिल्कुल क्लैरिटी है।
The Supreme Court's stay on Rahul's conviction will be in place till the disposal of the main appeal in the case, which is currently pending before the Surat Sessions Court.
इस कानूनी प्रक्रिया में हम इस सम्मानीय फैसले का स्वागत करते हैं और आने वाले दिन में जब अब सेशंस कोर्ट में ये मुकदमा हम चलने वाला है, वहाँ हमारी ओर से, समाज की ओर से कानूनी जंग जो है वो लड़ी जाएगी।
Rahul Gandhi!
Congress leaders and workers across the country erupted in celebrations after the Supreme Court delivered its verdict.
While the Congress is celebrating the return of their Neta into the parliament, the BJP has seized upon the observation made by the Supreme Court that Gandhi, as a public functionary, as a senior leader, should have spoken with caution. Politics on the matter continues, but for now, legally, big relief for Rahul Gandhi as his appeal against his conviction continues in the Surat court. With Srishti Ojha and Kanu Sharda in New Delhi, this is Anisha Mathur for India Today.
All right, let's get some political perspective on this. Joining me in the studio is our consulting editor, Rajdeep Sardesai. Rajdeep, has pure political analysis of what has really gone down today. Short-term wise, do you see Rahul Gandhi come in? Will we expect him to speak during the trust vote? Because the government will also be in a catch-22 situation of sorts. It took less than 24 hours to disqualify him. How quickly will we have him back?
Look, if you go by precedent, Mohammad Fazal, the Lakshadweep MP, was complaining that it took weeks, if not months, for him to be finally reinstated. He had to put a lot of pressure on the Lok Sabha Speaker's office before he was reinstated. Of course, he's not as prominent an MP as Rahul Gandhi was. So you would expect Rahul Gandhi to get reinstated. Whether he speaks in the confidence vote, one is unclear on. He may not speak. But I think let's be very clear about this, Preeti. This entire issue, which erupted in sometime in the month of March, now we are in August, has been to the benefit of Rahul Gandhi. It has projected him on the political center stage, given him the opportunity to almost suggest that he's been victimized, targeted, hounded, on a case which prima facie appeared a bit strange, that you sentence someone for 2 years for criminal defamation when you've never done it for over 100 years. So Rahul Gandhi was able to take on this case the moral high ground and give up his bungalow and say, look, I'm not into the trappings of power. Even today, if you read his tweet, it's about how I'm going to continue to fight for the idea of India. So I think it's given Rahul Gandhi a political cachet, no doubt. Having said that, now in the months ahead, I don't think disqualification is going to be a dominant issue anymore. Now it is what you're already into the run-up for 2024. So Rahul Gandhi will now have to really come up with an agenda that goes beyond victimization in any way and really focus on what can he offer the people of India in 2024. But for now, I would say, given also what the Supreme Court said, this has been a round for Rahul Gandhi and the Congress.
But I want to draw in from what you just said, Rajdeep. Do you see this as a double-edged sword for the Congress and Rahul Gandhi? Because we spoke of, ever since Rahul Gandhi was disqualified, there was a perception which he's never had earlier, also coming in from his Bharat Jodo Yatra, which was of sympathy. That this was a man who was possibly wronged, disqualified, given the harshest punishment, which we've never seen given before. And, with him going out, meeting traders, going on these little sojourns of his own, the photo opportunity of all of that. Do you think maybe the Congress could have done better to continue with that sympathy and perception?
No, honestly, I don't. Honestly, I think, look, at the end of the day, if you believe you've been wrongly disqualified, you've got to go to the courts. Or you've got to say, I'm renouncing parliamentary politics. If he chose to do that path, that I'm not going to get involved in parliamentary politics, that's an entirely different ball game. But otherwise, Preeti, I don't think he had much of an option. He had to go and challenge what the Surat court did. And having done that, it was almost inevitable that he would get a stay from the Supreme Court. Every lawyer you spoke to said that the case really didn't have that kind of strength in it for him to get 2 years sentencing. So, from all indications, the Congress has certainly benefited. Rahul Gandhi has benefited from this disqualification.
But what next? Rajdeep, may I just interrupt you? And I'm going to do it because we're just getting into news break that's just coming in now. That's the inside scoop on Rahul Gandhi's Lok Sabha membership. What we are given to understand from the Lok Sabha Secretariat, because right now his reinstatement lies with the Secretariat, and sources tell us that Rahul Gandhi can be part of the no-confidence debate. In all probability, Rahul Gandhi could lead the no-confidence motion next week. Do you see him leading? You know, there's a question mark on that, I feel, but being a part of it, possibly yes, because now questions would be asked. It took you 24 hours to disqualify him. Will you reinstate him with the same alacrity and the time?
You probably will. You probably will. I don't think the Speaker, Om Birla's office, loses anything by reinstating Rahul Gandhi right away. Will he lead the no-confidence motion is another matter altogether. Remember, Preeti, in 2018, when a similar no-confidence motion took place... In the monsoon session, Rahul Gandhi eventually lost that opportunity, the hug and the wink, and really that round went firmly to Prime Minister Modi. Rahul Gandhi is not at his best in a parliamentary joust. Let's be clear. If the parliamentary joust is to be Rahul versus Modi, I'm not so sure Mr. Rahul Gandhi can take on Narendra Modi and win the battle in a battle of oratory. I think Rahul Gandhi is much better off when he's with the people, reaching out to people with Bharat Jodo Yatra, these various encounters that he has with different groups of people. No confidence motion on Manipur and other issues. Maybe the Congress feels that this is Rahul Gandhi's comeback in Parliament, so he must lead rather than a Gaurav Gogoi who's otherwise slated to lead. Remember, the Congress has a real paucity of talent in the Lok Sabha, and they need everyone they can get, all hands on deck. Will a Shashi Tharoor be allowed to speak? Manish Tiwari be allowed to speak? Some of their better speakers. So I think that is a political decision the Congress has to take. I'm not so sure that they want to pit Rahul Gandhi against Mr. Modi, and if they do, then Mr. Rahul Gandhi has to be well prepared this time.
You know, last question, Rajdeep. It's a catch-22 right now, where Rahul Gandhi is concerned, because somewhere down the line, there is an assumption that it's going to be a Rahul versus Modi pitched battle, which could play to the strength of the Bharatiya Janata Party. The Congress wouldn't want that just yet. But if Rahul Gandhi doesn't speak, there's a loss of perception on who Rahul Gandhi really is at this point of time. But interesting in that, but there's a difference of what the last trust vote was. That was on possibly Rafale. This time it's on Manipur, and possibly a Gaurav Gogoi leading it could be better for the Congress.
More than that, I think what has changed, let's be fair to Rahul Gandhi. I think in the last year, Bharat Jodo Yatra, September, October last year, now leading up to then his disqualification, then the victory in Karnataka. Rahul Gandhi comes into this monsoon session of Parliament, no confidence motion, if he does speak, far more confident than he was 5 years ago. I think 5 years ago he was far more vulnerable. Today you sense a certain sense of confidence in Rahul Gandhi. There are many more issues on which you can perhaps take on the Modi government. But as I said, you will have to be well prepared, because like it or not, Mr. Modi and the BJP will come into this no confidence motion very well prepared. So if Rahul Gandhi wants to lead the Congress, and there is no reason why he should not. One of the things, as a final point, I think one thing Rahul Gandhi has successfully managed in the last couple of years, last year in particular, is become the focal point for anti-Modi forces. And I think even other opposition leaders now are slowly beginning to realize that Rahul Gandhi is a magnet for all those who espouse an anti-Modi viewpoint. And in the context of this India alliance that is being forged, even while I don't think he will be projected as a Prime Minister and the Congress is at best a first among equals, I think Rahul Gandhi will have a special place now in the opposition in the manner that he perhaps didn't have even 5 years ago.
Appreciate you joining us, Rajdeep. Thank you. They're interesting times, especially the week ahead where the no confidence motion comes in for discussion and then eventually to a pass and a vote. Thank you, Rajdeep, for joining us. Joining me right now is Senior Congress Leader, Rajasthan, Mr. Sachin Pilot. Mr. Sachin Pilot, it's a big win coming in for Rahul Gandhi, with the Supreme Court putting a stay on something that has been drawn out for months.
Well, we all welcome the decision that Supreme Court has passed today. The conviction of Mr. Gandhi in a criminal defamation case, a conviction of 2 years, it has never happened in 160 years. So the court is right in asking that there is justification why he should be convicted in that case. So we all welcome that. I think the Supreme Court has stood tall in terms of having our faith in the judiciary. It's a welcome step.
Mr. Pilot, something that was spoken of in the press conference that your party hosted just about an hour ago, that it took less than 24 hours to disqualify him. How long will it take to reinstate him? Do you see him speak during the trust motion? Word coming in that he could possibly lead the trust vote.
Reason why the Honourable Speaker will not act quite as quickly as he did in disqualifying Mr. Gandhi as he should in reinstating him as Member of Parliament. The highest court of the land has spoken. And I see no reason why the Honourable Speaker will not allow Mr. Gandhi to become yet again the Member of the House and take part.
In midst of all of this, Mr. Pilot, you have the Bharatiya Janata Party, which says, how does this matter? Mr. Gandhi, when he was in Parliament, had no more than 52% attendance. Will it really help this time? This is the charge of the opposition, which is, the government, which is the BJP.
No, I think the opposition can say what it wants, but there is no higher court in our country than the Supreme Court. Supreme Court said that the disqualification is wrong. And they state that. And that's important.
All right, Mr. Pilot, we're having a bit of a problem with your link there. You're in Bharatpur. There's been a bit of a problem with the network. But thank you for joining us for that quick reaction. Mr. Sachin, Pilot, very happy that Rahul Gandhi is in all probability going to be back in Parliament, and he hopes that the Speaker and the Lok Sabha Secretariat quickly reinstates the membership of Parliament of Mr. Rahul Gandhi. With that, I'm going to go into a quick break. To stay with us, news and updates continue on the other side.
India today is at ground zero in Torbang, and the situation is so vulnerable. Simultaneously, there is accusation of using sophisticated weapons, but these young boys risking their lives and using these single barrel gun and double barrel gun.
We love our land and our village, that's why we sacrifice our life.
No one could ever imagine that in a state, in the same country, in the same district, we will ever see such situation which has become a battlefield. And I could say this is a war zone in Manipur.
Grounded in journalism, on the ground reporting, only on India Today TV.
It's celebration time for Alia and Shane. The next generation Kashyap has now begun a new chapter in her life officially. That's right, Anurag Kashyap's daughter from his first marriage with Aarti Bajaj, Alia, got engaged to her longtime beau, Shane Gregoire, in May. And to celebrate the union, the couple hosted an engagement party for their family members and close friends in the industry. To not much surprise, like any other Bollywood celebrations, this too was one starlet affair, with everyone decked up in their ethnic best. Starting from the star of the night, Alia and Shane, the duo wore matching outfits, while the lady donned raw silk ivory-coloured floral print lehenga from the shelves of ace designer Anita Dongre. The groom, on the other hand, looked handsome in his sherwani. Attending their bash was also Suhana Khan, who looked drop-dead gorgeous in her dark blue sari and blouse. Khushi Kapoor too dazzled in her pink mirror-work ready-to-wear sari as she arrived for Alia and Shane's big night. Now making all the heads turn were also rumoured couple Ibrahim Ali Khan and Palak Tiwari, who made a noticeable appearance to the party, even though the two arrived separately. Speaking of marking appearances, Anurag Kashyap's former wife Kalki Kekla too made her presence felt along with her daughter Sappo and boyfriend Guy Harshbag. Alaya Furniture Wala, Agastya Nanda and Imtiaz Ali were among the list of other attendees. For the unversed, Alia had announced her engagement through social media post after Shane had popped the question. Her caption read, and we quote, "So, this happened to my best friend, my partner, my soulmate, and now my fiancé. You are the love of my life. Thank you for showering me what real and unconditional love feels like. Saying yes to you was the easiest thing I've ever done, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you, my love. I love you forever and always, fiancé. Still can't believe I get to call you that. Well, the couple can't wait to get married, and this engagement party was certainly all things love. Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
The revered Tirupati temple, famous for the divine darshan of Lord Venkateshwara, and equally famous for the sumptuous blessed laddu. These laddus are painstakingly made with the best quality ghee, also known as Nandini ghee, sourced from Karnataka for the last 50 years. But no more. The Tirupati Tirumala Trust has announced they will no longer buy ghee from the Karnataka Milk Federation. Why? Because Nandini ghee and all related products prices have shot up. The Karnataka cabinet approved a price increase for Nandini milk of 3 rupees per litre. The result of this is a war of words between the TTD and the Karnataka Milk Federation. The KMF even claimed that the contract ended 1.5 years ago with the Tirupati Trust.
Sir, I need your few basic information about your contract with Tirupati, sir. Why they have backed out from buying Nandini ghee, sir? What is the reason behind that?
Because of the rate. Because when the tender is called, everybody participates in the tender.
Okay.
Whoever comes the lowest price, they are procuring from that. That's all the issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much was that, sir, when you quoted the tender?
No, we quote almost more than 400 rupees per kg.
Okay.
So in that, even 1 rupees, 2 rupees also, if somebody quotes lesser, they will go with the buyer bidder who quotes a lesser price.
Now the TDD has refuted all of these claims, maintaining they follow a fair process via e-tender on choosing who will win the contract for providing ghee and all other products for the making of the famous laddu.
TTD procures all the items required for the TTD, including ghee, through e-tender process by floating the tenders, inviting the eligible suppliers all over India. TTD is also a government organization. We have to award a contract to L1, that is the lowest offered rate only.
Amid the uproar, Karnataka Milk Federation has written to the TTD saying it would be happy to be part of Laddu Prasadam. In a letter to TTD, the KMF MD said, "We do not participate in tenders. However, we firmly believe in building fruitful partnerships and delivering top-notch products to our customers." The KMF has sought a meeting with the TTD to discuss ghee supply to the temple. Politics has also broken out in Karnataka over the ghee war as the BJP accused the Congress government of ignoring the sentiments of Hindus.
This government has got no regards for the Hindu sentiments as well as for the relationship or the seva what was happening through the Nandini. It was a very, very good for us, and it was very important even for Nandini's marketing, our credibility, to show the purity of Nandini.
Now, the next time you go to Tirupati, if you feel the laddus taste different from how they did before, you know why. With Sagai Raj in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today.
Co-powered by New Hero Zoom. Go big, go Zoom. Co-powered by PolicyBazaar.com. Har family hogi insured. Jeep, there's only one.
Big win for Rahul Gandhi.
आज नहीं तो कल, कल नहीं तो परसों सच्चाई की जीत होती है.
Supreme Court stays Rahul Gandhi's conviction in criminal defamation case. How soon will RaGa be back in Parliament?
अब देखेंगे अब कितने घंटे में उनको रीइंस्टेट करते हैं.
Congress urges Speaker to restore Rahul's membership. Will Rahul Gandhi speak during the trust vote?
Rahul Gandhi!
What changes for Rahul Gandhi, the Congress Party and the India Alliance? Drop focus to the point this evening. So what changes for Rahul Gandhi, what changes for the Congress, what changes for the Alliance India with the possible reinstatement, because now the way has been paved for the reinstatement of Rahul Gandhi as an MP. Will it happen soon? That's the big question. What we are given to understand right now from the Lok Sabha Secretariat that it could very well happen very soon. There's also word coming in that the trust vote up for discussion on the 8th of August, will Rahul Gandhi lead it? Till now, Gaurav Gogoi from the Congress was going to be leading the no trust vote or the no confidence motion against the government. Mind you, viewers, it had happened all the way back in 2018 as well. 2018, right before 2019 elections, quite the same in the monsoon session. There was a no confidence motion against the government then. At that point of time, Rahul Gandhi had led it, but the core issue was Rafale. He lost that round. But this time around, perception-wise, it's a very different battle that the India Alliance will play. Numbers-wise, clearly the numbers lie with the NDA, which is also the government, the BJP. So what from here on? Let's take the question to our panelists this evening. Joining me, Jyoti Mani, Lok Sabha MP Congress, Charu Pragya, Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson. We'll also be joined by Rahul Srivastav, our National Affairs Editor, to break it down in terms of perspective. Ms. Jyoti Mani, first up, congratulations, ma'am. It's been a while and a long fight for you, your party, for Rahul Gandhi. He's a big ruling from the Supreme Court. Do you see him being reinstated soon?
Yeah, thank you so much. Satyameve Jayate. Truth alone triumphs. That's what we believe. Rahulji continuously saying the same thing. When his membership is disqualified, he was unfairly convicted for 2 years. He was thrown out of the house. Despite all the odds, we the Congress Party and Mr. Rahul Gandhi and the India Alliance and the people of this nation strongly believe we will win this battle. And also why the Rahul Gandhi is thrown out of the parliament is everybody knows, because he's a lone voice with a lot of commitment and aggression, a lot of truth attacking the anti-people Modi government. He exposed the corruption of the Adani and Modi in the floor of the parliament, and his Bharat Jodo Yatra attracted millions of people across the country. So they obviously feared for Rahul Gandhi. That is why this injustice done to him. Finally, as I said, truth prevail. It's a really very big day for us, big day for the Indian democracy, big day for people of India. It's not only Congress party.
Okay, but Ms. Jyotimani, I want to ask you the question. Do you see him come back to Parliament very quickly? Because the press conference that was held by your own political party 2 hours ago, your party president, Mr. Kharge, did say, and he seemed skeptical, where he suggested that it took less than 24 hours to disqualify him as an MP at the back of what the High Court said. It remains to be seen how quickly he's going to be reinstated at the back of what the Supreme Court has said.
See, given this Narendra Modi's government past track record, they don't believe in any rules, they don't believe in any convention, they don't believe in any fair practices. Going by that, actually, my party president, Honorable Kharge has all reason to be skeptical. But I don't, they cannot make it more obvious than this, because unfortunately, what is the point is that they don't want to Rahul Gandhi coming to the parliament and speak against his government. But the Prime Minister of this country, who still has the membership, he still is the Prime Minister of this country, couldn't come to parliament. He's hiding from the parliament. Now with the opposition party in the history of Indian parliament has to move a no confidence motion to bring the Prime Minister into parliament. In such a scenario, I don't think this Narendra Modi government and BJP can go to that extent by blocking Mr. Gandhi coming into the parliament, even after the Supreme Court has stayed the Gujarat High Court and lower court judgment. This entire country will see what they are going to do on Monday. In my view, this government can do anything, but we will not be quiet to whatever the government is doing. Injustice done to him already. Now Supreme Court made it correct. Now it's a government, it's a secretariat to immediately reinstate him. That's a fair thing to do. Anybody can expect the same thing.
Jyotimani, just stay on with me. I'm going to just come right back because I just want to bring in Rahul Srivastava, National Affairs Editor, into this conversation. Rahul, the time away from Parliament has worked for Rahul Gandhi perception-wise. Possibly it would be a different image-wise Rahul Gandhi coming into Parliament as and when he does. It's a catch-22 for the government as well, Rahul, don't you think? Because less than 24 hours he was disqualified. They need to show, at least perception-wise, the same alacrity of reintroducing him back in Parliament.
Preeti, we should look at this what I call supreme relief from the Supreme Court in a wider context. If you look at the last 6 months, the opposition's narrative has been dominated by Rahul Gandhi. If we have a strong narrative, if we find the opposition, the government on the back foot, we can say certainly the Bharat Jodo Yatra, Rahul Gandhi's challenges from foreign nations, and also the kind of effort he has put in. I think in that scenario, this is a big step forward for the Congress party. Why I say that, it's not just Rahul Gandhi can be back in parliament, but each moment or each hour of delay in reinstating his membership of the lower house is a negative for the government, for the BJP. The second very important element is that the Supreme Court order just doesn't talk about the fact that how the maximum sentence of 2 years was given because that's the matching condition for disqualifying a member of parliament. It also says it was detrimental to the interests of the electorate, the voters. And that's got a political sound to it. The Congress party can build something out of this as a meal and attack the government. It also creates a very positive energy for the India coalition, in which Rahul Gandhi and Lalu Prasad Yadav, two of the main top leaders or who have a national footprint, were not in a position to contest elections and steer or become some kind of generals as far as the 2024 elections are concerned. This comes as a major positive for this coalition. Also, in terms of Rahul Gandhi's imagery, in terms of branding, for the Congress party, it's a plus. You already have leaders like Mr. Kheda, Pawan Khera saying that he will turn out to be a Bazigar. Supriya Srinath saying that Sher Dahadega. So you can see that positive energy as far as the Congress cadres are concerned. But I have two very slight problems in terms of some negative which can happen. One, a very buoyant Congress with the return of Congress, Rahul Gandhi in Parliament, in the electoral fray as somebody who can contest elections, will, I think, create a sentiment in the Congress parties that can he be the face of the India coalition or the larger opposition.
And that's possibly, Rahul, what the Alliance India wouldn't want now, or rather the Congress also wouldn't want right now. You know, to pitch a battle against Rahul Gandhi versus Modi is detrimental for the Congress and works for the Bharatiya Janata Party, which is now, I would reckon, common sense, politically speaking. But I just want to bring in Charu Pragya into this conversation before we go back to Ms. Jyoti Mani. Charu Pragya, the question now lies, you know, I was going back to the explanation given by your own party spokesperson, the explanation given by then Speaker on why Rahul Gandhi was disqualified in less than 24 hours. And that time it was said very clearly it was the court's order and we acted on it. Will the same amount of alacrity be shown to reinstate him? Because this time it's the Supreme Court order, ma'am.
Good evening, and I apologize for my bad throat, Preeti. See, it was neither the Speaker which disqualified Mr. Gandhi, and it will not be the Speaker who will reinstate him, because this was done constitutionally. There is a provision in our constitution which automatically makes him ineligible to attend Parliament if he's been convicted, and he was. And this conviction was done by an Honourable High Court of our country. We need to remember this. That's the first thing I want to say. The second thing I want to say
what stalled, if it was the constitution, what stalled the reinstatement for months of the Lakshadweep MP, ma'am? Because the Lakshadweep MP does say that the Lok Sabha Secretariat, the Speaker sat on it for weeks after he was reinstated.
Yes, absolutely. And that is because maybe some examination needed to be done. Can I just first finish my statement?
Please, madam, go ahead. Yes.
The second thing is the Supreme Court today has not given Mr. Gandhi a clean chit, and the Congress will do well to remember that. This is temporary, this is interim, and the Supreme Court has also made very clear observations. It does not suit a public leader to speak like this, to generalize, to speak with such extreme arrogance. Okay, arrogance is not a crime, but is generalization fair? And wouldn't humility be for anybody to say that I did not mean this to be a generic statement and I only meant a few specific people, and I take it back. He did not choose to do that.
Ms. Charu Pragya, you know, what's interesting here is because I can get Ms. Jyoti Mani, because she can quote you back the observations of the Supreme Court, which can be very damning for the government as well for the High Court. Because at somewhere down the line, the observation, if you read them, seems to be mocking what the High Court had said, where the learned judge, the leader of the bench, said very clearly that they're very interesting kinds of observations that come in from High Court sometimes. So let's not get in there, because it's none the richer to quote half of the judgment or the observation of the Supreme Court, madam. It wouldn't serve anyone well. I'll ask you back the same question. Will we see the same amount of alacrity for the reinstatement of Mr. Rahul Gandhi that we saw in his disqualification?
Okay, absolutely. And we come back to that, but I will also do, I want to remind you that the High Court and the Supreme Court have a relationship which is entirely their own. And sly smiles are not going to mean that you can connect them all to the government. We should remember that. And the reason why the Constitution has a provision like this is thanks to Mr. Gandhi himself. He is a victim of tearing up the very ordinance that could have saved him today. So we should remember that. Also, you know, it's not like there has been any kind of an interest shown. This is more a move from the Congress to play the victim card. Do you remember the time Mr. Khera had a case and then a lawyer was at the court's door within 2 hours? Why did it take the Congress party so long to even go knocking on the court's door? Are you trying to tell me that the Congress party does not have enough sufficient able lawyers who could do that? They wanted to stretch it out. And also today, even though you are translating the court's words...
Madam, I'm not translating, I am verbatim quoting.
Sarcasm.
Verbatim quoting, madam, not translating. I don't want to get into territory which I am charged with translating what the court said, quoting. But having said that, let me ask a question to Ms. Jyoti Mani. I'll come back to you, madam. Give me a minute. Let me ask a question. Madam, just hold that thought. Coming right back to you. Let me ask a question to Ms. Jyoti Mani that possibly Charu Pragya should have asked, and that is, Ms. Jyoti Mani, that before Mr. Rahul Gandhi was disqualified in Parliament, he had no more than 52% attendance, madam, in Parliament. Now, him coming back, does it really rectify or change things for the Congress? What does he really bring to the table now?
No, what about the attendance? Do you know the Prime Minister of the country, whoever it may be, has to come to Parliament, Lok Sabha every Wednesday 1 hour, every Thursday to Rajya Sabha 1 hour. Have you ever seen Mr. Prime Minister or Mr. Narendra Modi has come to Parliament and follow this convention? Have you ever seen the Prime Minister of this country stand up and talking on any bills? You have seen only once that mostly the President address, you get to see Prime Minister coming address the Parliament. Why those kind of questions never addressed to the Prime Minister? Why didn't nobody ask Prime Minister how much attendance he has? On the other hand, we could see Rahul Gandhi where he is. He is among the people. He is among the farmers who are fighting against this brutal government. He is among the common people. He is among the women who are affected by the rape and other sexual crimes. He is among the laborers. He is walking in the streets of this country against the brutal government.
One second, madam, I'll come back. One second, let's not interrupt. There's no point. I'll come back to you, Charu
He's
Pragya.
not hiding like Prime Minister, no?
But okay, Ms. Jyotirmani, the fact is, it's something that the Congress does all the time and say, let's not indulge in whataboutery. The fact that the Prime Minister should speak about Manipur, of course he should speak about Manipur, but that's a matter of another debate. How does that somewhere down the line justify poor attendance by your own Rahul Gandhi?
So this is not whataboutery. What we are saying is, you see what he is doing other than if he is not coming to Parliament, what else he is doing. It's for all of us to see what he is doing, where he is going, what kind of people he is meeting. He is a leader of the party. He is a leader of opposition. This entire country is affected by this brutal government of Narendra Modi and the BJP. There should be a leader have to go to every nook and corner of the society and tell people actually don't lose hope, don't lose trust. We are here as a leader, as a from opposition party, opposition alliance. We are here. We are not disowning you. We will be protect you. That kind of assurance has to be given to the people. That's what Rahul Gandhi is doing all the time. What else he is doing?
All right. Charu Pragya, you wanted to respond? Go ahead.
See, it's responsible. Like, I'll put it in a precisely. You are asking a sub-editor why he is not going to field and covering all issues. There is a role, there is a different role for different leaders in the party.
Okay. Madam, let me cut across to Charu Pragya. Charu Pragya, you wanted to respond to Ms. Jyotirmani? Go ahead.
Thank you very much. And while I appreciate the passion with which you are having to defend Mr. Gandhi, the fact is the whole country...
Madam, who's defending Mr. Gandhi? One second. Are you talking to Ms. Jyotirmani or are you talking to me? Because if you're talking to me, then Ms. Charu Pragya, I asked a question for you of the Congress. A question that possibly you should have asked, I have asked. So let's not get into who's defending who. Get your facts right, madam. Go ahead.
You know what? I decide what I want to say and I decide my statement. You do not
go ahead. Sure,
right?
Go ahead, madam. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What she wants, but I do see that you love interrupting me while you do not do that with any of your other guests. So I'll appreciate it if you show the same level of respect to me and let me finish what I have to say.
Madam, please finish what you have to say.
But I will choose what I want to say in my statement and you do not dictate.
Go ahead, madam. I have every right to rebut you, Jyotirmani, or whoever is on my panel, ma'am. Having said that, respectfully continue.
It is not respectful to tell me I am saying what you should have said. It's up to me, right? Yes, but I am continuing. So if Jyotirmani ji is saying that Mr. Gandhi is always amongst the people, he's always doing the right thing, did he go and visit the family in Rajasthan recently where a 14-year-old child was burnt alive after being gang raped? No. So your presence amongst people is very selective and it continues to be so. Whereas nobody ever doubts the hard work and the dedication put in by our Honorable Prime Minister. So what you are comparing today is comparing an apple to a Karela. You should not do that because it just shows Mr. Gandhi in a worse light than he already is in. Mr. Gandhi also has a track record of multiple defamation cases. He also has a track record of making a statement, arrogantly not taking it back and then apologizing when he's been asked to do so by a court. It happened in the Rafale case. He's got a defamation case pending in Mazgaon. He's got a defamation case pending in Jharkhand, Ranchi. It continues. So coming from a party which says that you're all about love and affection, I don't see much of that coming from your leader. So a few photo ops here and there do not take away the horrible statements which have come from his mouth, and all of these horrible statements, when examined together or individually, are not something that are befitting any public leader in any position, let alone someone who wants to see himself in the position of leader of opposition, which he is not, by the way. Your party has not received enough seats in the last elections to even qualify to be the leader of opposition.
Ma'am, but he doesn't, the leader of opposition was never him. In Lok Sabha, it's not Rahul Gandhi, even while he was a part of...
back to her. She's the one who called him the leader of opposition.
Okay. I want to bring in Rahul Srivastav back into this conversation. Rahul Srivastav, the fact is... from here on, where you move ahead? 2018, there was a trust motion. It was NoTrust motion. Very, very different from what we are seeing right now. Of course, that paved the way for 2019 elections, and possibly the no confidence motion now will pave the way for the 2024 elections. At that time, there was a very different Rahul Gandhi, and the pitch of Rahul versus Modi clearly worked in favor of the Prime Minister. This time around, there might be a perception that is different where Rahul Gandhi is concerned, but if it is a battle of Rahul versus Modi, you and I both know better who's going to take it. How does the Congress and the India alliance not let that happen?
Pretty a perception of unity. Got together
Rahul,
and
we've seemed to... Okay, go ahead.
And seem to have created India, the coalition. One thing is very clearly emerging, that they are going in for low-hanging fruits, not those tricky questions initially. What they are trying to do is create a wider footprint with greater amplification as far as the opposition narrative is concerned. Now, Rahul Gandhi's reinstatement will eventually mean that he could be speaking even during the no confidence motion, taking the lead, perhaps, establishing himself, that equity he has within the Congress, within the coalition alliance. It definitely does good for the opposition, because I don't think they will be getting at all into who will be the face of the party. I think they may even keep deferring the convener issue. That's what is not. That's why Nitish Kumar is not very happy, because initially he had thought that meetings will start and he will be made the convener, and that's why after the Bangalore meeting he went straight away to Nalanda. That's the place where he usually goes for his political sulk. Now, in that scenario, somewhere, yes, definitely it helps the opposition matrix. They can create that better resonance. But in that battle, Modi versus Rahul Gandhi, Preeti, it is a tough battle for Rahul Gandhi. But remember, in Indian politics, 5 years is a very long time. I think a lot of things were very similar in 2018 also. There was Rafale, Chor, Chaukidar, Chor, and a lot of those elements. But then the BJP was able to turn them. I think a splintered opposition and a good narrative post Pulwama and Balakot, the BJP could pull it off. I think there is still a lot of time. Lot will depend how the opposition stays united, continues on the amplification it is receiving right now, and then hope for the best. That the factor of how experienced Modi is, how Hindu he is, how nationalist he is versus Rahul Gandhi does not become the question. If they can obfuscate the picture, I think maybe the opposition can hope for better results.
All right, Jyoti Mani and Charu Pragya, I'm going to give you 1 minute each. Jyoti Mani, the fact is, Gaurav Gogoi is going to be leading the trust motion from the Congress. Will things change if Rahul Gandhi is allowed back into the Congress? Into the Parliament, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, of course, we will decide that on Monday. Obviously, Rahulji coming to the Parliament, everybody expect him to speak. Definitely, he will, as usual, he will, with this uncompromising and aggressive attitude, go against this anti-people Narendra Modi government. That's what we are expecting. Everybody's waiting for that only. That's happening. We are happy about it.
All right, okay. Charu Pragya, the fact is, in a way, shouldn't the BJP and the and your party be glad, because Rahul Gandhi possibly out of the Parliament, in perception-wise, impacted you more than having him in Parliament?
Well, if he's been out of the parliament and the opposition has ensured that the parliament doesn't continue to function in his absence, I'm actually glad he's going to be back if the opposition will allow the parliament to function, if they disrupted it for that reason. Excuse after excuse was used for every single parliament session, which was continually disrupted, and that's crores and crores of taxpayers' money spent. That being said, even earlier, it's not like Mr. Gandhi was a very avid attendee of the parliament. His level of participating in debates was just 5 debates last term, when the national average crowd was 40. So this is a democracy. I am happy he's going to be back, and if his being back means that the opposition finally learns to let the parliament do its
All right,
business.
Jyoti Mani wants to come in for a rebuttal. Jyoti Mani, 10 seconds, go ahead.
Yeah, it's not the opposition who stalled the parliament. The government, especially the Prime Minister, refused to have a meaningful discussion on especially what happening in Manipur and other issues. We always wanted to have a discussion. A ruling party does not wanted to have a discussion. They does not want to run a parliament because they get scared of opposition. We will expose them.
All
That's
right.
the
Charu
problem.
Pragya,
It's not we who stalled the
the Prime Minister has held up.
It's a ruling party shamefully.
Out a statement against the incident that happened in Rajasthan yesterday. Being a woman leader from the Congress party at that, please let me know. But anyways, I know you don't have an answer to that, but let me remind you, the government has repeatedly asked for a discussion. It's a critical topic.
We don't believe in whataboutery. Wherever it happened, wrong is wrong. We don't defend things which is indefensible.
Come up with technicalities.
With that, ladies, may I please bow out of this debate? Rahul Srivastava, appreciate you joining us. We'll only know in days to come. Interesting as it gets. Will Rahul Gandhi be reinstated as quickly as he was disqualified? Possibly. That's what we are given to understand. Will he lead the no confidence motion? We don't quite know. Maybe. With that, a quick wrap. Stay with us. On the other side, Rahul Gandhi takes the conversation further.
Years in the making, and you made points in terms of the concerns. In these 6 years, there must have been God knows how many number of data leaks. And I want to ask you, what does this mean for the average user, given the reality that some of the biggest data sets that exist in India are with the government? Aadhaar, driving licenses, the voter card base, services that we use from the government, apart from telecom, for example, railway ticketing. I could go on, and these data sets exist within the public sector domain. Explain to our viewers, does the exemption for government entities play out on such examples, and how will it work? Because, you know, the point also is that while there is a lot of social media usage, it is optional. You could switch off your social media accounts and live happily, but you can't get away from possessing all the various government IDs. That is with you from birth to death, Prateek.
Yeah, so I think, again, that's where the exemption bit comes in the sense that they still have to notify the instrumentalities which will be exempt. So at this point, it isn't clear which of these, will be exempt from, the conditions that are imposed on data fiduciaries. But that's where the concern remains in the sense.
But Prateek, may I interrupt you? If all of this is to be exempt, and I take your point that the final word on that has not been said in terms of specific exemptions, but if all of this is exempt, then what is even sought to be protected?
Yeah, no, that's the point. So in the scenario where all of this is exempt, then you essentially have a bill that maybe only applies to the private entities, right? Which also with limitations, because again there's the ability to provide exemptions to them as well in certain scenarios, also not to be determined at this stage, right? So as you pointed out, in the Indian context, a lot of our data is already